Hello, beautiful soul. I'm so happy you're here today. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. Allow your body to soften. Allow your shoulders to relax. Allow yourself to arrive here. There is nothing you need to achieve during this meditation. Nothing you need to fix. Nothing you need to prove. For the next few moments, simply allow yourself to be. Breathing in and breathing out. As your body begins to settle, bring your attention inward, toward the quiet place inside you that has always known who you are. The part of you that exists beneath expectations, beneath responsibilities, beneath the roles you play for other people. The part of you that has always had a voice. And perhaps that voice has something it wants you to hear. Take a slow breath and listen. Not to me, but to yourself. Because if you're here listening to this meditation, there is a chance that somewhere inside you, a part of you is tired. Tired of second-guessing yourself. Tired of wondering if you're too much or not enough. Tired of shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never designed for your fullness. Tired of carrying words that were never spoken, dreams that were never shared, truths that were never expressed. Take a breath and just notice what that feels like. Because the truth is, most people are not walking through life unable to speak. Most people are walking through life unable to fully be themselves. And there is a difference. Think about how many conversations you have had with yourself that no one else will ever hear. The opinions you swallowed. The boundaries you didn't set. The moments when you wanted to say, "This hurt me. This matters to me. I need something different." But instead, you smiled. You nodded. You stayed quiet. And you carried it alone. Not because you were weak, not because you lacked courage, but because somewhere along the way, being silent felt safer than being honest. Maybe you remember raising your hand and not being chosen. Maybe you remember being interrupted before you could finish your sentence. Maybe you remember sharing something important and watching it disappear into silence. Maybe you learned to rehearse what you wanted to say before saying it, to edit yourself, to make yourself easier to accept, less emotional, less direct, less visible, less you. And perhaps no one ever said the words, "Your voice doesn't matter." Life is rarely that obvious. Sometimes it is a look, a criticism, a rejection, a moment of embarrassment, a room where no one listened, a relationship where your needs took second place. And slowly, without even realizing it, you began making yourself smaller. Not all at once, just enough to stay safe, just enough to avoid disappointment, just enough to avoid rejection. Take a breath, and as you breathe out, ask yourself gently, how long have I been carrying this? No need to answer. Just allow the question to exist. And now, imagine every version of you that ever stayed silent. The version that didn't speak up. The version that accepted less than they deserved. The version that didn't ask for what they needed. The version that apologized for taking up space. The version that thought they had to earn love, earn approval, earn belonging. See them all standing around you now. Not as mistakes, not as failures, but as younger versions of you who were doing their best, trying to stay safe, trying to protect their heart, trying to survive. Look at them, really look at them, and ask yourself, what would they want for me today? Would they want me to stay silent? Or would they want me to finally speak? Would they want me to keep hiding? Or would they want me to finally come home to myself? Take a deep breath, because there is something important you deserve to know. Your voice was never meant to be earned. Not through perfection, not through confidence, not through proving your worth. Your voice matters for the same reason your heartbeat matters, because it is evidence that you are here. You do not earn the right to breathe. You do not earn the right to exist. And you do not earn the right to express who you are. That right has always belonged to you. Imagine a newborn child entering the world. Their very first cry. No one asks if that cry is wise enough, important enough. The child cries because the child exists. And everyone listens. Because expression is natural. Expression is life. And somewhere deep within you, that same truth still exists. The truth that says, I am allowed to be here. I am allowed to take up space. I am allowed to express what is true for me. I am allowed to exist without apology. Take another breath. And imagine something for a moment. Imagine what becomes possible when you stop abandoning yourself. The conversations that become possible. The boundaries that become possible. The relationships that become possible. Not because you become louder, but because you become honest. And honesty carries a quiet kind of power. The power to transform a life, beginning with your own. Feel that truth settling into your heart. You do not need permission. You do not need to wait. You do not need to become someone else first. You do not need to be perfect before your voice deserves space. Your voice matters because you matter. Your voice matters because your experiences matter. Your voice matters because your feelings matter. Your voice matters because your life matters. And perhaps, for the first time in a long time, allow yourself to believe that. Not with your mind, but with your heart. Place a hand over your heart if that feels comfortable, and gently repeat, my voice is not a reward. My voice is a birthright. I do not need permission to be myself. I do not need permission to speak my truth. I do not need permission to take up space. I belong here. I matter. My voice matters because I matter. Take a slow breath in and a long breath out. Let those words settle deeply into every part of you, like rain soaking into dry earth, like something you've always known and are finally remembering. As you begin returning to the room around you, carry this truth with you. There is a life waiting on the other side of self-abandonment. A life where you trust yourself. A life where your truth has a place. A life where you no longer leave yourself behind to make others comfortable. And every time you choose honesty over hiding, every time you choose truth over fear, every time you choose yourself, your voice grows stronger. Not because it changes, but because you finally stop turning away from it. Take one final deep breath and slowly exhale. Feel the support beneath you. Feel your body. Feel this moment. And remember, you were never meant to spend your life becoming smaller. You were always meant to become more fully yourself. And your voice, your beautiful, imperfect human voice, has mattered all along, and it always will.